We're here. No intro.
Oh,
nothing.
I was just reading the paper. I thought you had an intro or something.
I do not, except nope, no intro. It turns out the first breaking piece of news before we get into the crazy is Spirit Airlines, I guess, came out of bankruptcy in March this year. Yay! Congratulations.
Oh, mazel tov. Mazel tov.
But they declared bankruptcy again today.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, it's so dark. They should pass out cannabis gummies on their flights to sedate their passengers, I think.
Do they need to sedate them even in the airport? I mean, there's
right. No, it starts in the airport. It starts in the airport. You're right.
I'm going, whoo. What is it? Spirit Airlines, Caribbean cruises apparently are getting known as, or is it Carnival? Might be Carnival. I can't remember. Are getting known as the, what is it? The Spirit Airlines of the Sea.
I like that.
Spirit is so bad. They're like,
what is Waffle House, the fast food spirit of
Waffle House? No, it's a legendary, important staple of the Southern diet. Thank you very much.
No, but I'm saying that plenty of the videos that I've seen in the past couple of years come from Waffle House at 2:00 in the morning, with ghetto gangs ganging up on each of them and fighting 20 on 20 in Waffle House. Just like Carnival and
I don't think you could fit 20 people in a Waffle House.
These are like the bigger Waffle Houses, But you've got the airport fights. I mean, they should just put these out on DVD with separate titles, like Bum Fights. That when they did that in the 90s, you've got the terminal fights, which are absolutely usually the people smashing the equipment of the employees. But then you've got actual fights within the terminal, Eric, of employees versus customer. Then you've got the really contained, tight fights, which are on board the plane. Those could be called metallic tube battles. Then you've got I don't know how many people on Carnival in the middle of the night with their free food and free buffet fights, where it's literally 60 on 60.
Oh, well, those are really bad. And then they, was it? There's one Carnival I was looking at it. This took place earlier this year, but there was like 20 people that were involved in the fight. They just dropped their asses on Bahamas. They're like, yeah.
They left them behind on the island.
Yeah, go find your way home.
To fend for themselves. I like that one. Well, I knew somebody whose kid was caught with cigarettes on board the ship and was dumped off in the Bahamas without his parents. They just threw the kid out.
Okay.
And the kid was like 16 and he had a pack of cigarettes on him. And the parents were suing them for dumping their kid in the Bahamas. He didn't know what to do. He had to get a plane back to St. Louis or something. They're very strict on smoking on board the ship.
Can you imagine a fire on that ship?
That's why they're so strict.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, if you're out in the middle of nowhere,
the odd one was they searched his room while he wasn't in it. So there was some contentious thing, but apparently in tiny words on the back of your ticket, it says we can search your room for contraband when you're not in it or something.
I guess so. Just pure craziness. People are complaining that your video is fuzzy. It looks a little fuzzy to me, but I guess it's just bandwidth. Don't know. The sound is good, folks. If you got to choose sound or video, we'll go with sound because it sounds good.
It looks good to me.
Well,
I'm looking at the picture. I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it'll clear up. But exactly, everybody, you can hear him. But you know what? While we're figuring out the video, before we get rolling too far, I have the best news I can possibly have. And that is, we have a sponsor.
Oh my, that's good news.
And so let's check it out.
What is it? What is it?
It's Aura.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Have you ever searched your name online and found your personal details exposed on public sites? That's the work of data brokers who profit by selling your info to robocallers and spammers. Enter our sponsor today, Aura. Aura identifies and confronts these brokers submitting opt-out requests for you. By law, they must comply, but they often complicate the process. Aura simplifies this for you with services like parental controls, antivirus, VPN, password management, and identity theft insurance. Aura has got you covered. Now, I've been using Aura for years now. It originally found my info on multiple data brokers, and now it alerts me every time sites have compromised my information. Sites are being hacked all the time, and I feel good having this extra layer of protection. Aura also monitors my bank for large transactions. It still surprises me when I get alerts after transferring money between accounts and paying larger bills. But then I feel the relief that I am notified. It's an added layer of security that I can't do on my own. For peace of mind, try Aura for 2 weeks for free at aura.com/AUS and boost your online safety. And seriously, it's a good ad. I'm thankful to have them as a sponsor, but I literally do use Aura. They came on as a sponsor like a year or so back, and I've been using it ever since.
Yeah, didn't we have them as a sponsor once?
Yeah, we've had them before, and
right?
that's when I started using them, and I've used them all the time.
Right.
So it's pretty cool. But yeah, I was hoping it was cleared up. It is what it is, folks. Anyway,
again, it looks perfect to me. So hold on, let me see what I could do about it here.
All right, he jumped out, and everybody is talking about how many chins I have and whatever else. Thank you very much. That's always very, very productive, everybody. Very cool. Thank you. Let's see, who else do we have? Nothing more fun than hearing about whatever cardio is going on. Anyway, I put out a poll to everybody, and for some reason, the numbers, everything, YouTube has changed a lot of things of late. And one of these is notifications and things like that for people. It's kind of crazy, but people are getting notified. They've set it up now where YouTube will notify you for shows that you're not even subscribed to, but that shows you are subscribed to, they're not notifying sometimes. So that's why I've been putting these polls out going, hey, did you get a notification or anything else? But
these people are scurrilous, Eric.
It's frustrating because eventually I feel like they're just going to not even use subscriber numbers at all. Just making it up.
What's it to them? What do they care about subscriber numbers? They don't give a shit.
Well, they're manipulating the.
I mean, we haven't had a new subscriber in about a year.
Barely, but yeah. I mean, we're crossing like 1,000 every few months, something like that. But it is definitely not a speedy surge.
I wonder if it's political. I wonder if it's possibly political.
Never.
No.
It's not the tiny room algorithm. But either way, it is what it is. So that was the first story of the day, which is Spirit Airlines. And this is another interesting story of the day that just came out, and it's Kamala Harris. I don't know if
this chick won't go away.
Well, would you?
Well, she's got the book deal, so she's got to go on a tour at some point in the fall.
Oh, right, but she's going on the tour without her Secret Service.
Oh, that's sad. Why doesn't she get Secret Service? I don't understand.
Trump pulled it.
That's really harsh.
The thing is, it's really not harsh. Everybody's sitting there talking about, oh, what a small-minded person he is and everything else. Vice presidents get Secret Service for 6 months after they get out of office. Well, she got out in January, right? January 20th. So July 20th, it'd be 6 months last time I checked.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
Well, apparently Biden had signed a secret order right before he left.
Oh, come on.
Giving her an extra year.
Give me a break with these people. It's insane.
This is CNN acknowledging that their detail was extended by a year. So it's not exactly Trump lovers here saying it.
Yeah.
So everybody's going, oh, you mean Trump. He's like, he just pulled it to what everybody else gets, which is 6 months. And it's not like she was president, for God's sake. She was vice president.
Right. Well, look how they never gave RFK Jr. any protection. That thing because of Joe Biden ordering a candidate not to be protected, which is apparently against the law. They just said he wasn't a candidate of a major party. Go fuck yourself. That was their out on that.
Oh, and they've done that with other people before, but with
Yeah.
RFK, it was particularly egregious, and it was a deliberate message. It's like, let's see, you lost your father, you lost your uncle, but we'll deny it for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Fuck this chick.
Well, also
let her hire Gavin DeBecca like RFK Jr. had to do.
Well, and basically, who cares? I mean, I'm not sure it'd be me, but I don't know of any right winger that cares enough about Kamala Harris to go after her. I don't left wingers don't. So I'm just saying I don't think she's really even a controversial person in terms of people threatening her. I think everybody considers her a light.
Well, everybody's threatened, just by being a public figure these days.
Okay, well, technically, but
I mean, no rationale is going to explain it if some left-wing person kills her and said she lost the election and destroyed this country. Who knows what crazy person thinks?
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm just being fair. Yeah.
But either way,
what happened to the trial of Ruth? By the way, speaking of left-wing assassins.
Or wannabes? I'm not sure.
Remember, he was defending himself, and I mean,
well, yeah, I don't think the trial starts for a while.
Right? What is it, like a 5-year wait for these trials till you're out of office? I mean, what happened to speedy justice? I mean, what is the court just backed up? We can't get to a presidential assassin.
I think it's up to the defendant. If the defendant wants it, they're required to do it. But most of the time, they are more than happy to delay, because the longer, I mean, if you think about it and you got a really bad case, delaying probably helps you out. Somebody said they think it starts in September, but anyway, the longer you delay, the more likely evidence can disappear, witnesses could disappear,
and you can disappear.
Or perish.
How about yourself disappearing?
Well, yes,
in jail, when the video goes down.
Well, that's another thing, by the way. As long as he's waiting for trial, he's probably in jail versus a federal, permanent lockup. And you know what? You mentioned that the cameras going down.
Yeah,
I'm interviewing coming up an author of the book on the Oklahoma City bombing, and the investigation got launched off of this guy who got arrested coming into the United States. He was a bank robber in the 80s, and he was crossing the border in the U.S. He was on parole or whatever. They arrested him for parole violation from Mexico into California. All of a sudden, they shipped him to Oklahoma. He was put up in a SHU, just like Epstein, a special housing unit. And like 2 days later, he was dead.
Okay.
Shockingly, all the cameras were broken that day.
Oh, I see. Right. Well, I mean, if you're going to kill somebody, the first thing you're going to do is break the cameras. Whether you're a bad guy or a good guy, the first thing to go, in my guess, would be a camera.
I'm just saying,
like, Bob, what do you want to do with the camera? All right, let's disable it and then kill him. I mean, who's ever doing the killing?
Yeah.
Well, we got some polling numbers out of California, by the way, as long as you're talking about the situation nationally. Okay. Apparently, it's Porter, Katie Porter, the psycho Democrat, is, and Chad Bianco is the Republican. They are the two leading candidates for the governor's race at this time. Chad Bianco, the crazy sheriff from out in San Bernardino, who we experienced during a fraudulent attempt on the president's life at a rally in San Bernardino, is polling pretty high, as is Katie Porter, the Democratic psycho housewife from Orange County, who was a congresswoman.
Okay. Was this Katie Porter who had the tryst on camera with her female staffer?
Yeah. She's back. She's back, and I don't know what her private life is like, but
well, no, she was like on video. Yeah, I thought that was her. Maybe it's somebody else.
I don't know if that's her. I think there might have
somebody
been someone.
Correct me if I'm wrong, or let me know.
Else, Katie Porter. Let's see here what it says. There's a little picture of her. I don't know how this race is even. In third place is former Fox News host Steve Hilton, who entered the race in April, was favored by 10%. He's got 10 points, and the others have 30%. Yeah, Porter is favored by 21% and Bianco by 15. I mean, that's where it is because there's nobody. There's so many non-people in this race that everyone's got like 3%. People you never heard of who are running. So that's
So
why
what's
those numbers.
undecided? What's that number?
It's not undecided. It's just like there's 12 people with 3%.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know because sometimes they have.
Yeah, I mean, there is
numbers.
undecided, obviously,
Yeah.
but nevertheless, there's just like 13 candidates who have about 3% of the vote or poll.
Okay. The chat.
And these are the two biggest names. What's that?
It's a chat saying not her. So okay, cool.
Yeah, I didn't think it was, but she was the one who was going to bail out. She was a placeholder for Kamala Harris, but now it turns out that she will be the next governor of California, unless someone like Mel Gibson. If you can hear me, Mel, please, for the love of the last temptation of Christ, please step into this race and save us.
Thank you, Katie Hill.
Katie Hill, that was someone else. Yeah. I think she resigned, right?
I guess I don't know. I mean, a lot of craziness, but
no,
yeah,
Katie Porter's crazy. Don't sell her short. She's batshit crazy too.
Yeah, but then the guy Chad or whatever, he doesn't seem all that great and stable.
Chad is totally nuts, totally nutty sheriff. Not a Trump guy. Goes on the radio here. Will not talk about Trump. Says he's a Trump guy, but he's not.
Yeah, he was. Well, when he's not on his knees for Black Lives Matter.
Yeah. That's who the guy is. But what about this? Speaking of Black Lives Matter, George Floyd guy, the chief of police of Minneapolis, stepping all through it today with the trans shooting in the past couple of days, trying to dance around the fact that this was yet another trans shooting. I looked up this guy O'Hara because he didn't look like he was from Minneapolis. I looked him up. And it turns out he was the chief public safety officer of Newark, New Jersey, one of the unsafest cities in America. He's a Jersey guy. And they did a nationwide manhunt after George Floyd to gut their entire police department, to bring in Habib-wearing Somali women, which he was instrumental in bringing in non-citizens to be police officers in Minneapolis, and having the women Somalis wear the thing on their head as police officers. This is O'Hara's legacy. He's only been in there since 2022. Of course, appointed by the mayor, which I'm opposed to, Jacob Fry, a complete psychopath who wept openly at the casket of George Floyd while wearing some sort of surgical mask and taking 2 knees or 1 knee. He appointed this guy O'Hara. This is O'Hara. Here he is. This is I think he's got 8 out of 10 on the woke scale, according to Grok. But I'm going to give him 10 out of 10 just for the hell of it.
And why not?
Grok leans left. He asked Grok about these things. Oh, during the show, I was asking Grok about Dice K's nursery rhymes, and she was making up her own. Without any dirty words. And she kept insisting that these were Andrew Dice Clay's nursery rhymes. And on the show, I said, no, I think you're making this up. Let's try to get the actual nursery rhymes of Andrew Dice Clay. And she keeps doing it. And I said, nah, you're lying, Eric. I said, you're lying. And finally, she confesses, the Grok lady.
Well, yeah, I heard it. And what's fun about it is that it doesn't just do it, but it says, you're right. That wasn't an actual such and such.
I know.
Would you like to hear an actual such and such with the
does it again? And then she did it again.
Yes. And that's AI. That's AI.
Wow, Eric, that was really fucking dark, bro. I must have done it 3 times, and she kept insisting that these were the actual poems.
Well, okay, there is no good AI. Grok is in the commercially available, whatever, is probably the best. They're not a sponsor. Almost were. Happy to have them. Venice.ai is like an uncensored AI engine that you can choose a model that is not stepped on.
Yeah,
that's a possibility. But any of these AIs are very difficult because
the creative lengths that she went to rewrite his poems. I was like, holy crap! I'm afraid to ask about myself on there.
What's sad. I mean, I'm not going to treat it lightly, but I tweeted out a story about AI. There's a family is suing ChatGPT. So it's interesting how you're bringing up something we've all seen where you have to tap dance around AI, correct it,
Yeah.
et cetera, et cetera. And because all these safeguards or guardrails, as they call them. However, there is a family who is suing OpenAI over ChatGPT because their son self-deleted
Oh boy.
with assistance
Oh boy. Oh no.
from it. Now, in trying to be as fair-minded as possible, apparently the ChatGPT did say here is a hotline for information a couple times in the thread, and the son also did things like say, no, I'm writing a book on somebody who was doing blah blah.
So he was
he was motivated, I feel, and doing workarounds, but it is a problem. And like one of the responses that's hard to ignore is he mentions something about telling his parents supposedly, and ChatGPT says something like, no, you don't really need to do that right now, or something like that. But that's a claim. I don't have any, substantiation, right. But they showed a screenshot of that piece. I don't know if it was from that or the news agency doing it, but it's interesting how some ways, ChatGPT is going to guardrail or Grok or anybody all over the place, but then other times it will just tell you all kinds of insane shit.
Yeah. Wow.
So I'm going to keep an eye on that case.
Yeah, keep an eye on it. That's fascinating. I mean, I don't really I just use it for some things to type in or everything, but I just wanted to have those poems in my hands, and they will not provide them. And they're on many albums, many YouTube videos, many HBO specials. This is not, this is public information.
Well, what's irritating about it is if it came back to you and said, this is what it's like, I can't share it because of copyright.
Thank you.
You would be okay, right?
I would be totally okay with that. Absolutely.
You're like, all right, fair
but
enough.
Deceiving the person, wow, I did not see that coming.
Yeah, that's annoying. And then it just keeps repeating it and then playing it out. And you're like, okay, finally it's here. I go through that all the time when I'm like, generate a picture of fill in the blank. And I was doing it because I'm doing a Robert Hansen thing. I had an artist rendition of a victim. Okay. It's not a picture, it's literally an artist rendering of a victim. And I'm like, generate this with a black background because I wanted to have it as a thumbnail. So it's easier to remove the background.
That's right.
And it was like, violating the policy.
Wow.
Why? So I took out the words victim and things like, and I'm like, okay, this woman, and it'll usually do, but it's like, no, violate. I'm like, okay. And so then I'm like, this is not the person. This isn't a rendering. It's not even, they can't identify them. It's not a real thing. Oh, that's okay. That doesn't follow my would you like me to make it for you? Yes. And then it did the exact same thing. It's violating the policy.
Oh my God. Well, these are the dog days of August, as Erik was saying before the show. And I just want to give a shout out to my friends in the Midwest who are battling the dog days of August with the St. Louis Cardinal fans, Milwaukee Brewer fans, Cub fans. They know what it's like. We're out here in the West and kind of a good time. But the dog days of August is a phrase that's become related to baseball during the dog days of August, which is right now when it's boiling and humid and these teams are battling to get into September, to get into the playoffs. You have to get through this phase of the dog days of August. And the toughest places to play in this time are like Busch Stadium or wherever the Brewers play, Wrigley Field. And I got to tip my hat to those fans who sit there in a packed house in those tiny old chairs watching their team. So tip of the hat to the Central Division of the National League.
Okay. And it's a rare time I get to say it, but the weather here in Virginia has been astoundingly beautiful. It actually feels like fall over a month early. It's very confusing, but I'm taking every minute of it and praying for it to repeat every year because it's just remarkable. It's like high
Well,
of
if you
80,
donate,
81.
if you donate to the Democratic Party, maybe they can change your climate so it's like this every year.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want them to change the statistics about my climate. I want them to
Oh,
actually
geez.
change the
What's the
climate.
difference, Hunley?
Oh,
What's the
I don't
difference? What
know.
if they changed the thermostat? Wouldn't you feel better? How about the people in LA who were, they did a campaign a couple of years ago to install these digital thermostats in all of the living places in Los Angeles for free. These AI driven thermostats that can control your
Yes.
entire environment. They had commercial after commercial, free installation, and now they are controlling the environment. The mayor came out the other day saying, we will now make the temperature 79 degrees in your place due to possible blackouts. And I'm sitting here at 62. I'm just blasting the shit out of it. I got central air. But if anybody who went for that, they're now, you talk about buyer's remorse, they didn't even buy it. They got it for free installation. It's a wonderful thing. And now this tiny dwarf with a Joker face, Fidel Castro's favorite mayor, is now controlling the temperature in Los Angeles.
They also have a Ring doorbell program?
Yes, I don't know what happened with that one, but the thermostat one is now, they're feeling it in a negative way for the thermostat program.
You know the old saying, Mark, right?
Yeah, I do.
If you aren't paying for the product, you are the product.
Well, I don't know about that saying, but the doorbell one isn't as devastating as the.
Well, it's a surveillance system, so
Right? No, I
everyone
know,
they
but
get free one.
you
So
can.
you can.
Yeah, I mean, even if you have the regular doorbell system, I guess that's a way to tap into that. But imagine you can't control your own temperature in your own place. I mean, that's a new world order, my friend. That is, and you're listening to her every day telling you what your temperature is going to be in your house.
I have a cure for them. $20 at Home Depot. You go, bring it home, rip that out of the wall, connect the wires. And
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure many people have, but I mean, holy crap.
Yeah, well, they're depending on people who are essentially
woke,
lazy, and I
woke and lazy, wazy. They're wazy. They're woke and lazy, wazy.
Hey, we all are. I mean, you know, they've done surveys on that with cell phone carriers, right? That they did surveys. 65% of customers to cell phones would not change their carrier even if it was less money, because it's just a pain in the ass.
Oh, yeah, that's true though. That is a pain in the ass. I mean, it might save you some pennies where a guy like you would love that, but the average person is too lazy to do. No, I mean, it's a badge of honor. There's people who switch all the time. There are people who literally, you know, I'm too lazy to do that. That's for sure. And I'm sure there's a better deal out there. But then AT&T will come back with a better deal. You'll be switching every other month.
Oh, that's true, but I have to do it with car insurance. Actually, this is a good tip for everybody. Car insurance, I found, my nephew taught me this. Over a couple of years, your rate will keep hiking.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And you just need to jump to another insurance company. It's the only way to get it down.
What do you do about public storage? You have a solution for public storage? They just raise the price every 6 months.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about a pain for switching.
Dude,
got you by the balls, dude, because it's like you're going to haul your stuff. How many friends do you have? You're going to lose them.
Well, it's not a question of hauling it. It's a question of having them stabilize the price. I talked to the manager of this one that I'm in, and he says he's not the guy. It's a national company. And he says they raise it every 6 months, no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
No matter what. I mean, think about that. I mean, just any other business, just automatically 6 months, 10%, 15% hike in your rent or in your rate.
Yeah, the greatest irony of all is that loyalty is punished. Not
loyalty is punished. I got to get out of there because I got a couple of them in there. Man, oh man, is it tough to find storage.
Yeah. Well, and that's the funny part. You probably get a new place, and you're like, oh my god, it's half the prices I'm paying right now, and then they'll just start jacking up. So
well, I'm going to get somebody to put something in writing because this is just ridiculous. I mean, this is a violation of. I mean, I don't know how you could get away with this because it's not in your contract. It just says, you know, we could raise the rate whenever, blah blah blah. But the guy told me they just do it every 6 months.
Yeah. Well.
I said, does it ever go in the other direction? He goes, absolutely not. What would be the point of that?
Yeah, I mean, especially if they have no competition, and if your storage is scarce, then you're doubly screwed.
Maybe it's scarce. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but all right. I guess we should talk about the trans story.
Oh yeah, look at that. Filthy Zionist Jews. This
Yeah,
sounds like people, some of the MAGA people. Is this Marjorie Taylor Greene or what?
no, this is a trans shooter.
Okay.
Apparently, yeah, he did not like Trump. Doesn't like the Jews. Trump
Mhm.
likes the Jews. So you know what? As much criticisms as you bring out and point out,
Yeah.
a lot of people are very confused. They're like, they love Trump, but they hate the Jews. Well, this guy, he is consistent. He
He's
hates
consistent. He is
Jews and
consistent.
Trump. He
Dude,
lumps
is
them
this
in
him as a
together.
woman or is this him still as a man?
I don't know. I mean, this is the most common picture. It looks like there's stubble there, so I think it might be
Yeah, that
pre
looks pretty.
whatever.
That looks pretty. Because there is one with him with earrings and shit.
Yeah. Actually, you got to hear this because
Oh, go ahead.
Rosie O'Donnell explains
So about the Minnesota shooting,
Yeah, go on.
and it brought me right back to Columbine in 1999 when
Where I was living, I guess
just
she was
could
there.
not get it through my head that students in America were shooting each other in
No.
schools.
Yeah.
And this was a church inside a Catholic school.
Hold on, it's coming.
And what do you know? It was a white guy, Republican, MAGA person.
Right on.
What do you know?
Yeah. What do you know? You don't know anything. That's why
White
you.
supremacist.
He was a white supremacist. Holy crap.
The last one might be true. He ate the Jews, but
Yeah.
I mean, can you get any more stupid or
Well, what
tone
does she
deaf
have her own
than-
news show? She moved out of the country to get away from all this, and yet she can't get away from all this. Who gives a shit what her opinion is? She lives in fucking Ireland, for Christ's sakes.
I don't know. Well, maybe that's
By the
why
way,
she's
Eric,
so
we're
confused.
11th on the list of mass shootings worldwide as a nation.
Really?
Yeah, 11th with a bullet. Our old friend Larry Elder on his radio show yesterday went through all the numbers in real time. Fascinating breakdown by Larry Elder. The fact that they claim they're, as did Trey Gowdy today. Trey Gowdy yesterday really stepped in it. This ex-rhino saying this is another, young male shooter like the rest of them.
How dare he?
In fact, the
Discriminate.
amount is about 54%, and 26% are black, and it's a little bit higher than their percentage in the country, and it's a little bit lower than the white male percentage in the country, statistically speaking. 54, and I think the black thing was about 22 or something like that, as Elder was pointing out. So this another misnomer that it's always young white males is another lie. Now there's trans shootings. Now it's like a whole trans thing, which is a separate phenomenon currently. But he was just talking about what Trey Gowdy was saying, that it's either the children or freedom. Trey Gowdy today was calling for the revocation of guns to save the children. This is a former congressman that you remember from the Benghazi hearings. He's on Fox.
I remember him. He used to be great at
Yeah.
cross-examination of he was like John Kennedy, the senator now of his time, that he was always hammering people in Congress.
Well, he said we have to choose between freedom and the children now.
Okay.
That's obviously the choice we're going to have to make, and do something with these guns, these pesky guns that seem to jump out of garages and go kill people by themselves.
You bring up a good point. Nate and I were talking about it earlier. Nate, the lawyer. A mass shooting, technically speaking, I believe is 3 or more people in an incident.
Yeah.
As he put it, though, only things like school shootings are reported as mass shootings. But if there's a shooting and 3 people are shot anywhere else in the country, especially in black areas, it's not reported as a mass shooting. It's just a shooting.
Well,
so it's interesting.
Nate, the lawyer, the director of Black News, is correct once again. There are separate categories, by the way. The mass shooting and school shootings are ranked separately. And when I was talking about Larry Elder talking about mass shootings, he pointed out that we were 11th as a nation around the world, which I did not know. But Macedonia, apparently off the charts. Whatever's going on in Macedonia, there are countries that have higher rates than we do. per million people, and I had no idea. I thought we were number one with a bullet, but apparently not. Apparently, we have not kept up the leadership in this category, Hunley.
Well, I guess too. You think of places like Mexico with cartels. I'm sure that
Yeah,
they
and
shoot multiple people at a time.
nobody, and I expect Nate to look this up. Nobody's covered Africa. There's no stats out of Africa ever on shootings and mass shootings. And I mean, country by country. I mean, I'm sure they're there. There's got to be someone who can pull these stats up.
Well, some of them might not even have stats because are they even a legitimate country? Like the Sudan and Somalia, failed states or kind of Libya. I bet they have mass shootings in Libya. How would you know?
Yeah,
I mean,
I know. I agree.
So,
but what I'm saying is these countries may not have the pervasive distribution of weapons as we have, but they seem to be ahead of us in mass shootings.
Yeah, a lot of them are probably the government themselves or whatever, or some rival want to be government doing it. God only knows. But wow. Apparently, though, this is not unforeseen because you had the Nashville situation, obviously. Apparently, the Catholic school leader warned Tim Walz of critical school safety threats.
Oh, boy.
Tim didn't have time for it.
Tim's very busy. This is a busy guy, with his stolen valor and all his other commie horse shit, reporting to the Chinese MSG secret society all the time. He's had very little time to deal with safety in Minneapolis.
That is a good point.
He has Jacob Fry has appointed this guy O'Hara from New Jersey because nobody knows. Maybe there's Somalians in New Jersey. Maybe O'Hara had a lot of work with. Somebody could tell me if they live in Newark. If Newark is gone, well, I think Newark is mostly Muslim at this point and Palestinian. I don't know if they're Somali.
Isn't that Cory Booker territory?
That's Cory Booker, but he's a senator of the state. So,
but wasn't he mayor of Newark?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean, when I was growing up, it was an all-black city. I mean, there was a famous saying, "Nighttime ain't no time to be in Newark." That city was out of control.
Wow, amazing. Now, one more element of the case here, and this one I have mixed feelings about, but the mother, Mary Grace, Robin's mother, or Robert. It was Robert, then it became Robin. But the mother is not cooperating with cops and has a criminal defense attorney.
Yeah, well, she is the one who changed his name at the age of 17. So she is involved in his transgender operations and situations. The father apparently is an ex-CIA and Department of Defense contractor, I've learned in my investigation. The father is really interesting, Eric, because he...
something on him. I don't know if that's full on. He works for Aegis or something. I've got his...
No, I'm saying a contractor. I didn't say he worked for the CIA. I'm saying he's a contractor.
Yeah, he's a programmer for ESRI, which does do some work for different government agencies.
Yeah.
I don't know how strong on the CIA angle it is, but anyway,
I don't know how strong it is, but apparently they say that he was a contractor like anybody else, from the contracting world, the DOD and CIA and maybe other companies. Now, I don't even know if it matters. The point of the matter is that the mother seems to be driving the crazy train here by changing his name at underage at 17 because he couldn't legally do it himself, from Robert to Robin. I like the fact that it's Westman. He probably wanted to change his last name too. But if you read his manifesto like Eric has, and I've glanced at, apparently he was extremely tired of being trans and was complaining that he was done with being trans, but he'd already made some moves. It was hard to go back to square one, but he was over it. And you hear this a lot. I mean, especially in the trans community. In fact, there's plenty of people who have been on shows now who transition. The detransitioning movement is getting stronger and stronger and stronger, Eric.
Right. And
so people going back the other way.
This is sad. This is him before.
Yeah, it's her. It's her. She did this to him. This crazy bitch. That's why she's lawyered up, because she is worried about getting prosecuted like certain people were prosecuted under the Biden administration as parents of shooters. That's where she's getting this criminal defense angle from, because Merrick Garland opened up this door to going out. Right, Eric? Remember when?
Well, no, that's exactly what I was going to say. Is that,
Yeah.
you know, whether or not she was responsible or not. Like, let's say she actually wasn't. Like the Columbine kids, one of the parents even wrote a book, has done a TED talk. Really did not know. Not all parents are necessarily tied in with it, but because of what happened to that family in Michigan, I believe it was, the parents got locked up.
Yeah.
And now I'm not saying that she bought in the guns and all that. I don't know all those details, but I can sort of see if somebody's a parent of a kid anymore, they probably need to get a lawyer, just no matter what, because you're right. Merrick Garland opened that door, and it's bad news. Really bad news.
Well, we'll see what happens, but she is refusing to cooperate with authorities. The father, I think, has spoken to them. I don't know if they're still together. Usually this happens when they get divorced. And these divorced fathers, as we saw in the case up in Spokane, they seem to have no rights on the planet Earth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Regarding this particular phenomenon, I mean.
Well, this is an interesting transition, but let's go back to another case we've been talking about for a while, and it goes all the way back into the 90s. And that's what may have happened the other way, which is the Menendez brothers.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
We have some audio here.
Oh, right. Yeah, good. Yeah. Thank you. I forgot about this.
Now, I don't know, is there any particular one that is the best? This is him being raised without a moral compass.
Yeah, I forget. I listened to a few of them a couple when it happened. The family is really upset that these were released, but the people are very happy to hear the parole hearing. Robert Barton is the parole commissioner, and usually it's a two-person. I don't know how many were on this, but usually it's two, and because it's never. Then it goes to the full. I don't think this is going to go to the full. The full is 7 or 8.
Oh yeah, it went in 10 hours. It was a 10-hour.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this was the full board or the miniature board or what, but it's so funny because I have audio of the Sirhan parole hearing that I taped myself. You know, when I was on the parole thing, but somebody must have recorded this. The interesting thing is that the family is upset now because they were rejected and this was released.
Okay, let's look at this. I guess he was raised without a moral compass.
I had never stolen like that before, but I was raised in a family where stealing isn't what was frowned upon. It was
getting caught.
Getting caught was what was frowned upon. My father prided himself on being able to do anything inside or outside the law and rise above it and profit from it. I was not raised with a moral foundation. I just say the opposite. I was raised purposely without the moral foundation that I should.
So it's not my fault.
Yeah, no, that's what Nate Hochman was railing against, because they refuse to embrace the crimes morally. Technically they have embraced them, but not morally to get paroled. You really have to throw yourself on the mercy of the court to get to the parole hearings, and you have to be a model prisoner, which apparently they were not. I did not realize how they were not model prisoners. I don't know. I wasn't at that parole hearing. In the Sirhan case, he really was. They had letters from the guards. I've never seen anything like it. In the Sirhan case, the guards had written letters how great he was, and he had been in meetings, 12-step meetings in the prison for 15 to 20 years. This was an impeccable record for what it's worth. They didn't even have that. So, it's hard to
you said he never missed a meeting, right?
Sirhan did not, even through COVID. Yeah, I was quite astonishing, because I did not know his inner prison record. I wasn't privy to it, but this came up in the parole hearing when RFK Jr. and I were there. This is not the case, though. Apparently, these guys were not model prisoners, although one of them had like a puppy in prison program that they were raving about, where they brought puppies into the prisoners. And of course, I mean, if I was a prisoner, I'd love a dog. That would be great.
Oh, yeah. Anything
Give me
would
a
be nice.
puppy. I'd like a puppy right now, for Christ's sakes. But I was shocked. I thought this thing was in the bag. And apparently, I think Newsom made this go away. He did not want this to get past, I would presume, the parole hearing stage where he would have to be the bad guy. I think he snuffed out this baby in the basket. No evidence of that. Just my gut, knowing this guy's politics. He put the kibosh on the Sirhan one after it got past the parole board, and that became controversial. And I don't think he wanted to focus on that in the middle of his MAGA transition, his Democratic MAGA transition,
Sure.
which is a one-note thing. Somebody asked him about the trans killer, and I've never seen a guy dodge a question quicker than Gavin Newsom this week.
Well, it's pretty similar to the Chicago mayor being asked by Joe Scarborough, would you like the funding for 2,000 more police officers since you're short?
Yeah.
And not answering no matter what, because it would be coming from Trump.
Right.
Yep.
Well, I mean, the headline, the LA Times, I don't know if you saw the headline today. ICE is hiring tens of thousands of new ICE agents, Eric. This is a fascinating story breaking today. I don't know if it's in the national news or what, but the headline in the LA Times this morning, ICE hiring 10,000 agents. Some unexpected people want to join the Trump crackdown, because the LA Times doing their best to manipulate the story. The first line of the story said, just to read you this, because this is really bizarre. I'm reading this story with an open mind. I said, let me get the facts on this thing, right? So the first line of the story, you might have hit a paywall there, so I'll just tell you.
Yeah, I know. So
it's okay.
I'll try to find a copy.
Right. ICE is hiring 10,000 agents. Some unexpected people want to join the Trump crackdown. Okay. This is written by a chick named Brittany Mejia, and it says, Arlington, Texas. They came from all across America to join President Trump's deportation machine, right? That's the opening line of a factual article. Trump's deportation machine. So I went and commented on the article, and I said, are you kidding me? I said, what kind of a journalistic hack would open an article like that? And it says, comment denied.
Oh, sounds good. It sounds like a YouTube appeal.
Yeah. Comment denied. They blocked my simple comment challenging the opening line of using the phrase Trump's deportation machine. I mean, just tell a story of ICE hiring people. I didn't ask you to be an editor and write an editorial. This is a staff writer.
Right. This is supposed to be the news, and this is part of the problem we have.
Front page article about a totally factually based story. They cannot help themselves putting in those phrases, these trigger phrases. It's just shocking. This Chinese guy who owns the paper, no wonder he wants to sell this fakakta paper.
Well, he's got his cancer research. He's got
his cancer research, yeah.
But you're right. They're doing that all the time, and they'll say things like known white supremacist such and such does blah 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 blah, or no, right. And they literally throw it in as a descriptive factor in the supposed straight news, which is infuriating. I agree with you.
Very infuriating. Anyway, that was the main story. The importance of the story is that ICE is hiring 10,000 people, which is what our audience should be aware of in case you want to become an ICE agent. 10,000 people this is a great job working for ICE people. So be hip to this thing. Maybe if you live in Tennessee or Alabama and you want to get a new job working for ICE, now's your time.
You can, I believe you can get a full-blown career here.
Absolutely.
20 years in government retirement.
Absolutely.
Pension benefits.
Yep.
Just like Border Patrol.
And they're going to hire more. This is not going away. They're going to keep this going for a decade if we remain in power.
and I could be wrong too. We did work at FLETC, Federal Law Enforcement Training Center, Artesia, New Mexico. I think they even have language programs. So, like, if you want a good job with good benefits and everything, I believe a lot of these ICE folks will be sent into a language program. You get to learn a new language while you're at
Dude,
it.
did you see the semi tractor trailer driver who in Florida? Okay, so that guy who didn't speak a word of English,
Well, which
fled.
one?
This is the guy in Florida who jackknifed his tractor trailer and a car smashed into it, killing everyone.
No,
Okay,
but that okay.
okay,
He's
that
got
guy.
2 million signatures.
Right. Okay. So that guy fled to California. I don't know how that happened, but the deputy governor, or the, what's it called when you're the lieutenant governor of Florida, went on his own to bring him back in handcuffs with Florida police. And Newsom turned him over. He was such a hot potato that Newsom gave him up to the lieutenant governor of Florida, who is missing limbs from Afghanistan. This story is just crazy.
Ooh.
The lieutenant governor, you got to see this guy who did this. He went and got this guy himself, with the help, obviously, of law enforcement, and brought him back on a plane. And he said the guy just sat there, did not acknowledge anything, did not speak to him, and did not express any remorse for the people who were killed. And he just took him on a plane back to Florida to stand trial.
Wow, I did not see that one.
Well, that's why we do Freeform Friday.
No, that's fine.
Yeah,
I actually had him coming up because there's another shocking element with him. That if this is the same guy, I believe there was a petition supporting him that got 2.2 million signatures saying, "Leave this guy alone. He didn't mean it."
Florida.
This is him, right?
2.2 million. Hold on, 44 years. Yeah, hold on. Seeing faces.
Yeah,
that's the guy. That's the dude.
Yeah, I didn't know about the second part, but I already had him queued up because of that petition. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
No, they went. I don't know how he got. Yeah, Ron DeSantis commuted sense because that's not going to happen. I'll tell you that right now. He is going to get the full extent of the law of Florida.
I hope so. And then when he's done, he can be deported 30 years from now or whatever.
There was video of him getting pulled. Yeah, this is a video of that, photo of that. But there was video of him in Texas. Oh, excuse me, in New Mexico, where he was stopped for not and couldn't even communicate with him and gave him a ticket. And the guy says in broken English, "How long will this remain on my record?" And the guy says, "Depending on what state you're in, 5 to 7 years." And he goes, "Oh." And he holds his head down and he gets back in his rig and drives off with the New Mexico Blue State Police waving goodbye to him. And if he had been apprehended that time, these people would be alive today.
Do you want to hear something completely bonkers?
What?
There is another guy with the same last name. Hold on. Indian origin truck driver arrested in Canada, killed a mother-daughter in crash 9 months ago.
It's happening all the time now. Yeah.
No, I just explaining that.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, I've seen this video too. Ethiopian Airlines flight. Oh, he was trying to flee, it looks like, right, Eric?
Yeah.
Hold on, scroll down. I want to see who this guy is here. Donald Trump getting a clash over Indian truck driver's fatal Florida crash. That story is the one. That one there, Trump and Newsom clash over Indian driver's fatal Florida crash.
Right, they're rolling them together.
Yeah, they're rolling these two. It's very confusing what they're doing. They're rolling the two together. But that's the story that Newsom turned him over, which I was surprised that Newsom did it. But I think that it was so egregious that, again, he doesn't want to focus on anything outside of his campaign. That's why he's now sending troops. Newsom. He's sending California Highway Patrol and whatever his state police are into the cities to anticipate.
Well, he can do National Guard if he wants.
He didn't use the National Guard. He's not using them. He's using California Highway Patrol and other agencies in California to prevent or offset Trump getting here and doing the same thing. this week, trying to steal the thunder of Trump doing this. So Newsom has become this Trump follower now.
Well, yeah, he's copying him on memeing. He's copying him on
Yes.
But I gotta say this.
Oh, this is it. Yeah, you're right. This is the story right here.
This might be an unpopular opinion, but I'm glad. I don't care why he's doing it. If it cuts crime down and fewer people get harmed, then great. He could be doing it for the most cynical reasons of all, but I'm glad the people benefit.
I doubt it'll ever happen. This is a headline for him. He's never going to do it.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's just trying to steal a headline. That's what the guy keeps doing. These are things where they're one-day stories. Yeah, he's putting in the California Highway Patrol, expansion of state-led cooperative initiative, contrasting with Trump's. Yeah, I mean, you could call it cynical, but I don't believe it's ever going to, even if they're deployed, they're not going to do anything. They'll be under orders not to interfere.
Oh, well, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they'll physically do anything. I mean, it's the same as having LAPD. They show up at these street takeovers and they're told to stand down. By the mayor.
Whatever. I occasionally have hopes because
no, you're
correct. I was shocked that and I don't know if I have that clip handy. I mean, I was genuinely shocked that the DC mayor came out.
I saw that
and said,
"Yeah,
this is working."
I posted those crime stats on Karen Bass's mayor feed yesterday, and she was saying she's going to fight to the death to prevent Trump from doing what he did in D.C. And I said, "Here are the stats, lady. Are you a nut? I mean, these stats are insane. In 21 days, complete collapse of crime in the district. She's now going to fight to prevent this from happening." Go ahead.
We greatly appreciate the surge of officers that enhance what MPD has been able to do in this city. The most significant thing that we are highlighting today is the area of crime that was most troubling for us in 2023. Now, we have driven it down over the last years, but I'm going to get my glasses so I can make sure I can
get
see
your glasses
correctly. But for carjackings, the difference between this period, this 20-day period of this federal surge and last year represents a 87% reduction in carjackings in Washington, D.C.
Wow.
We know that when carjackings go down, when the use of gun goes down, when homicide or robbery go down, neighborhoods feel safer and are safer.
Really?
So this surge has been important to us for that reason.
I got to give credit, Mark. You don't often see somebody just flat out say, "Hey, it's working. Thank you."
Well, what I'm saying is they're going to box these other 2 or 3 mayors into a corner, because how long can this black cat in Chicago, this black Marxist, how long can Karen Bass deny what this woman is doing as a blue district mayor? I mean, they're either going to have to deny the validity of the statistics or just say, "I want my own people to die." I mean, where do you go politically with this storyline, Eric? If you're a mayor who is not doing what she's doing, she Bowser, by her move, has put these other blue city mayors of color, MOC, into a very difficult box, Eric.
Which is great.
Yeah, that's what I'm happy about. Yeah,
I agree about the box, and that's one of those I don't care. And I don't know why people struggle with this so hard. I do not think that crime is a political issue. I think crime, like cancer, doesn't give a damn what your politics are. It harms everyone. So please accept any help to get crime down. And
I'll do what Chief Bratton told me in an interview when he was chief of police in L.A. They eliminated stop and frisk in New York, and that was and Al Gonzalez knows this, and Alan knows this. And once you politicize crime, which is what Eric's referring to, and eliminate certain techniques of the police, like stop and frisk. I don't like stop and frisk, Mark. It violates this and that. Okay, then crime's going to go up. Well, you don't care about that. I just really care about you not stopping certain people on the street. And I'm not defending stop and frisk or being anti. I'm just saying when you make those moves, it's a domino effect and things happen.
Right, and everybody in the chat who's correcting me saying it wouldn't be I'm not saying that people aren't politicizing it, but that's my whole argument is it should not be politicized. This should be something everybody can agree on. Crime is bad. I don't want my car broken into. I imagine nobody likes their car broken into or different things happening. It's a bad thing.
Again, here in LA during the riots and the robbery, many politicians and public people came out and said they deserve those items that they're stealing. Again, this is not, radical thought in the radical community. It's mainstream thought to them.
Right. They have the thought that because people who have the funds or the money to have these items, they stole it off the backs of everybody else. Right. So it's not like they actually own it. We could steal it from them. They're freaking crazy. Let them steal from them. Let's just point to all the people who are saying that stupid shit, and then they can give up all of their items that they're worried about, having stolen.
Well, I wish it was that simple, but when she was in power and when Garcetti was in power, they ordered the LAPD to stand down, and the perpetrators knew that. When I say perpetrators, I'm talking about tens of thousands of perpetrators who were robbing and looting in this particular city. It was other cities as well, stealing the merchandise, and many politicians and many talking heads said, "Go for it. We believe you deserve it."
Hey, our friend Helena in the chat has a great attitude about stop and frisk. She said, "We got some good-looking cops here in Niagara Falls. I always ask them, are you not going to search me?"
That's funny. That's funny. No, I don't know what Nate's position is on stop and frisk. It's a very controversial situation.
There's two kinds. There was the original Rudy Giuliani, and then Bloomberg kind of took it up to another level. I think that his position on it is stop and frisk if it's everybody. It's like stop, ask, and frisk, I think is the problem, not just stop and frisk. But anyway, there are levels, and I know he completely supports the Giuliani version of it, which
there's different models. There's different models, but they have gone to the ACLU and they have found judges to put a stop to it, and that was the end of it. So that's when the crime wave began, because the judges put a stop to stop and frisk. And so there's consequences. The judges live in a gated community or a doorman building. They are not subject to the life that 99.99999% of the human beings live under. So they are the elites of the elites of the elites. Until you physically begin harassing them, nothing's going to change.
Yeah.
I mean, media hassling them, physically getting in their face with microphones, stuff like at that level, breaking their anonymity, going physically for them and exposing them to the general public.
I got another one.
Yeah.
How about you make property crime illegal again? And this $900 bullshit. I'm just saying, if you make it pay to steal stuff because you're like, oh, that's not a crime if it's under $900 or whatever you have in California, well, that has an effect too.
Well, now
if the shoplifters get locked up, well, they're not out committing crime.
Mandami says he is going to take it one step further, Eric, and eliminate misdemeanors as a level of crime in New York City. The misdemeanor itself will be eliminated, and it will be a complete just traffic ticket type of justice if Mandami or when Mandami becomes mayor.
How many people will be left in New York? I mean, how fast do you think?
A lot of people can't afford to leave. A lot of people can't afford to leave.
I agree.
They just can't pick up and go, bro.
No, I get that. So what's going to happen is the ones who can afford to leave, the ones who are, I'm not trying to be mean, but the higher productive people who can afford to inject money in the economy, they're going to leave. So the people who are left are the ones who are already suffering. They're going to suffer more.
Well, there's an article in the New York Post today talking about the gutting of the tax base when Mandami becomes mayor, because of what Eric is saying. They will leave, and they already have, but millions more, or hundreds of thousands of more upper wealthy people in Manhattan and the boroughs will leave because of him increasing the tax rates on those people.
Now, ironically, those same people probably vote him in, which makes me sick.
Yeah, they could be voting for their own destruction. It wouldn't be the first time in American history.
I mean, I could just totally see that they vote this guy in, and they're like, "Oh my God, these taxes are just too ridiculous," and da da da. I can't handle it. I'm out of here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time, but this would be an unusual situation because he is an avowed Marxist who lied on his application for citizenship. And I'm hoping that Rubio, I heard some, Christy Nome made a statement this week that they were looking at his citizenship for the first time from the Department of Homeland Security. I don't know where that story went, but I'm hoping that they nullify his 2018 naturalized citizenship because he lied on the application and get this over with.
I hope so too. Sooner the better.
I'd rather see Sliwa versus Cuomo.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah, straight up.
Honestly, between the two, I mean, I don't like Cuomo at all, but my gut tells me he might not be a bad mayor because he's got so much to prove.
Well,
and when you're looking at New York,
he's 20 some odd points behind. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it's not even a race. So the fact is, if Mandami is deported to Uganda, ironically with Garcia, who is not from Uganda, the two of them could share a plane together.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, we've made a deal with Uganda now to take. By the way, that's why Garcia is being sent to Uganda. We've made a deal with this third country to receive X amount of our illegal aliens.
Yeah. Somebody's pointing, geez, Eric Cuomo's a POS. Yes, I know he's a POS, but it's kind of like when you're talking about New York or California, the best you can get is a rhino if you're extremely lucky. I mean, that's like Susan Collins in Maine. I mean, I don't complain about her because it's either that or a liberal Democrat. What do you want? I mean, you're not getting many options, so you're really picking from the bottom of the heap and grading on a.
Well, there's some people who are like George Will who believe that he should be elected so he can destroy the city, and then we will learn a valuable lesson. I'm not from that school of thought.
Yeah.
I don't need a valuable lesson on the evils of socialism in the city I was born in. I mean, I'd like
you got
to.
It now.
Well, not yet. Not yet. It's still, not November yet. But
no, I mean in LA you have it.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't need a lesson.
I don't need a lesson. I see how it works.
Yeah,
I see it every day here. But if he gets into office, despite this political sweep by MAGA on the national elections, they will have control of the three largest cities in the United States of America. That is quite a victory, for them, if they can have control of three of the largest cities in the United States.
Oh yeah, and why I'm saying
in this climate, I'm saying in this supposed pendulum swing to the right, which we're experiencing socially, politically, economically, and every other way, to control the three largest cities in the country is quite a coup d'etat.
Right, and the reason why I said it, I said, you're living with and all that is here's a nice little video. It's just over a minute talking about why mayors matter.
Right on.
You might not realize how important your mayor is.
13 years ago, I moved my family to the most idyllic town in America, the Pacific Palisades. Today, it looks like Pompeii.
This was where I used to have Starbucks every day. This was where my kids went to elementary school.
And this is where I used to take them for frozen yogurt.
This is where my daughter took art class.
This was our supermarket. This was our car.
This was our home.
Wow.
Take a look at this fire hydrant. It was never used to fight the fire. These fires went out on their own. Across the street, nothing was touched. The only reason these houses burned down was mayoral incompetence. There was no water in the fire hydrants. Why? An empty reservoir. This is the result of incompetence. Mom Donnie has less than 3 months of work experience, and he wants to run the most important city in America. We don't want this to happen to the city we love. Your decision for who to elect in November matters.
Wow.
Don't make our mistake.
I just thought that really illustrates.
No, it's a great video, and Comer has opened up oversight committee into. Excuse me, I take that back. It's Rick Scott on the senatorial side has opened up a committee hearings into the corruption regarding the fire in Pacific Palisades in the United States Senate. So we're starting to see some movement by a senatorial investigation into this debacle.
Let's hope. I mean, you know what? Your city council could get locked up. Why not your mayor?
Yeah, I mean, other mayors have been in prison before. This is not, breaking a glass ceiling. She believes a lot of them are just incompetent and not corrupt. The ideological ones are more incompetent than corrupt, Eric. You know what I mean?
Sure. I can totally believe that. Now, that's depressing. I'm going to go back to what I think is some encouraging news for once.
Okay.
I never thought I'd see this. I've been in the workforce, or I was in the corporate workforce from mid 90s all the way through 2023 when I was able to quit doing the show. Never thought this would finally happen. Why job hopping might no longer pay. Apparently, finally, companies are figuring out that if you pay the employees you have who stick with the company and work long term, it might be worthwhile. So as of July 2025, and this is coming from September to July, notice the way you could always get a raise or move up is only by quitting a job, jumping to another company. And I've watched this happen throughout my entire career because I knew the people who did this. They would quit. I'd be working with them one day. They would quit. They'd be working for the competition. They'd be getting a 10, 20% bump. And then they would come back to the original company a couple years later for yet another jump. And
Weird.
It was always frustrating to me that you get one person who works for a company. For example, I work for my company 2006 through 2006 through 2023. That was my most recent job. So 17 years. That's a decent amount of loyalty, etc. I don't do anything anymore with it, but I would watch other people hop around. I would see people getting hired in from wherever and they make more money. And fortunately, I really liked my boss. And I feel like a lot of times you don't leave jobs, you leave bosses. In this case, I had a boss that I really liked, so I sucked it up on the salary. But I like to see this trend. I like to see the idea of loyalty being rewarded. I am happy about this headline. I think it's finally a good thing coming by. Mark is proving the case about hopping a job. I guess Mark will be appearing on another show now because Mark is doing the old style. I was telling everybody you were doing the old style of leaving the show and going to another show to get a raise, but apparently not.
Well, my favorite stories of the week is a guy I've met a couple of times, talked to during the World Series, is Mark Teixeira, who is now running for Congress in Texas, I think the 21st district. This is a MAGA guy who is a great ball player, and we need more of these celebrity. This is just my personal editorial. Great guy, Mark Teixeira, great ball player, played for the Yankees, but he's from Texas, and he has a name Teixeira, T-E-X. But he's going to be running for Congress in Texas, and we need more of these conservative celebrities who have name recognition, Eric. I just wanted to get that out there.
No, I agree. I think it's
sorry. I was reading the story of Teixeira when I clicked my own death.
Okay, Marcus, this is interesting multitasking.
I'm multitasking today like a psycho, and I don't know what I'm doing.
Apparently, but either way. All right, we had this story, which is pretty interesting. I don't know if you saw it. You've got a dark money situation with left-wing influencers.
Yeah, I was reading this morning, and it turns out that they are told not to say anything about where the money comes. It's very interesting. They're meeting online, and these influencers are all kibitzing together. They're like TikTok people, they're Instagram people.
David Packman, Brian, Tyler Cohen, just to throw names out. Okay, go on.
I don't know who those names are, but the fund is called 1630 Fund. And it's a Chorus Creator Incubator program where they were getting something like $8,000 a month to parrot the Democratic Party line. And they're saying this is an answer to the Koch network. I don't understand how that, what it has to do with Koch brothers.
The Koch brothers would fund, like, as an example, Dave Rubin had like every fourth episode or whatever was a sponsored episode by whatever group that was tied in with.
Oh, well, this seems a
Ayn
little
Rand
darker
whatever.
than that, because it says in the discussion, do not ever mention where this money came from, and they were giving them guidelines on how to secretly hide the sources of getting the money and the rules. Broken Wired magazine, yeah. And it said how to deal with anyone asking you questions about where it came from.
Now, I'm going to point out one thing, and I know it's an ad hominem or whatever anybody wants to say, but I think it's very relevant. Double check this in every way, because the writer is Taylor Lorenz. And anything coming from Taylor Lorenz,
I know, but this is revelatory.
It
does not help the left in any regard. And Wired, I assume they have editors. I know that sounds crazy. I come from the magazine business, but in the old days, you couldn't get anything crazy through all the editors. But now
she wrote for the New York Times and the Washington Post.
Right? No, I'm saying I agree. I mean, again, you have to check it out. But this is not a positive article for the Democratic Party.
No, and David Pacman released a video that talking about, saying no, it's not, no, it's really helping younger creators with their SEO and different things. And okay, we'll see.
Well, every once in a while, a broken clock is correct. So.
Absolutely, but
you know the old saying,
source. Yes. Which one?
The one I just said.
Okay. Well,
you're always asking me. You know the old saying. I never know the old saying.
All right. Well, hey,
this one you seem to know. Everybody knows that broken clock is right.
Oh yeah,
twice a day.
Yeah, I definitely do know that one. And again, like I said, and I acknowledged it was an ad hominem. I'm saying you got to question the source. She could be 100% right. It might have been the first truthful story she's told in forever, and if so, congratulations. But do not like her.
You have any fun stories in there?
I've got one that I think is kind of funny. Remember Elizabeth Holmes?
Oh yeah, the blood bank girl, the blood machine girl.
Yeah, you can.
Disgraced Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes is sending out tweets on X for the first time, actually, in years. This is Holmes, one of her tweets. She's actually talking about from prison in Texas, serving that 11-year sentence for defrauding investors. She's talking about
what the fuck?
And South African Bishop Desmond Tutu. Okay, so
thank you.
X from jail, and if not, who's doing this for her?
Right. So the short answer is no. Okay. No cell phones allowed in state or federal prisons, so you can't go on social media. Someone is doing this for her, and we don't know if they're talking to her. But right, I mean,
no, they're going to build up her account and try to monetize it.
It bends towards justice.
They're working with her.
She's in prison for fraud.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many people reached out to me and said Elizabeth Holmes is tweeting. And I was like, well, I got some news for you. She's not doing it herself.
Someone's doing it for her.
Right. And this is part of a weird sort of get somebody's attention kind of promote.
She's going to build up social media, make money on it with the help of her husband, probably.
Or whomever. And by the way, she's there hanging out with Ghislaine Maxwell, apparently.
I'm assuming I'm going to go close and say whoever the father is of these two prison babies is probably driving this social media crazy train.
Probably, but I thought that was an amusing story to talk about.
It is, the way he handled it, yeah.
And I will say that if you go to her account, it says words are mine, but not me directly. Oh,
it's her on the phone.
Somebody else that's
hey, it's me. I think the tweet about Bishop Tutu was great, honey.
Well, I what they're doing is the political prisoner storyline, obviously.
Right, I am a political prisoner.
Hey, it worked for Ross Ulbricht. I mean,
it worked for some people. Yeah.
So who knows on that?
Yeah.
Other, you want more good news?
Okay, yeah, I like good news.
I do too. How about Cracker Barrel? Now, there's a longer arc to the story. One, apparently there's a top investor who owns Steak and Shake, and this guy, Sardar Biglari, owns like 8% of Cracker Barrel. He is the one who posted the fire the CEO tweet from the Steak and Shake, and people were like, "Why is Steak and Shake doing that?" That was him. He wrote in October 2024, I think it's 120 pages of where Cracker Barrel is going wrong. This is screwing up. This is a giant problem. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. That was shockingly ignored by, of course, everybody, because we were talking about they were late to the woke train. But I still say that any legacy Americana company they're going to do, then more on this. I didn't even know the guy was around. The co-founder is 93 years old. They had him talking about this.
It's probably his image on the original logo.
I'm not sure if it's him, but
logo rolled out the other day.
Oh, that's crazy. That's nothing. It's a bland nothing.
He's right.
It's
generic.
Pitiful.
Do you think she knows the story of Cracker Barrel?
I don't think so. I heard she was a Taco Bell, but what's Taco Bell know about a Cracker Barrel?
Nothing. It's Mexican versus American.
Food. And the food is something that they need to work on. Spending $700 million to do that is all I've been doing. I'm just throwing money out the street.
Anyway, so
that's brilliant. Brilliant.
Robbie Starbucks got involved, and apparently they're undoing what they were doing, turning things around, putting on the brakes, except I think it's the same board, the same CEO. So let's see if they finish the job like Harley Davidson did ultimately fire the CEO.
There's one element of the story that you haven't discussed yet. Apparently, the CEO received a phone call from an important person in the White House. And that person, Donald Trump, read her the Riot Act before they switched back to the original logo. That broke yesterday. That Trump called her up and told her that this was a corporate blunder, not unlike the original co-founder, apparently, from what I imagine.
The co-founder might have called Trump.
Somebody called somebody, but Trump called her, and now the original logo is being restored. I don't know about the design within the restaurant itself, which was radically altered by her, throwing out all the Cracker Barrels and all that American Gothic design. But they're going back to the original logo as per Trump.
Interesting.
There's nothing this guy's not involved in, Eric. I mean, I'm waiting for a call myself if I do something bizarre. I mean, he is involved in so many bizarre, non-presidential things in a good way. I think somebody who's ever, hey, look, maybe this chief of staff's a genius. Maybe she hips him to these things and he gets on the blower and does something about these things.
I have a theory on that. I think that he learned from his first term that, as Andrew Breitbart famously said, politics is downstream of culture. And if you look at it, a lot of what Trump is doing, this is a cultural thing. A lot of what Trump is doing is culture, all over the place.
Maybe you can explain the 600,000 Chinese students he said last week were coming here.
Not everybody's perfect.
He's rejected this now. But what does that have to do with politics being downstream of culture? Again, he's just running these things up a political flagpole to see if they'll fly like every other politician. People went berserk over the 600,000 figure and he went, oops, my bad. And I don't think it's an accident. I mean, like you're saying, I think he's putting up political flags to see how they'll fly.
Like the sort of amnesty, not amnesty, sort of amnesty, not amnesty for farm workers and hotel workers. Yeah.
But that's quite traditional to do that. But when he does it, people lose their shit, because they take him seriously.
But I think things like this, I still say, I think that the cultural aspect is important. And I don't think he was focused on culture in the first term. He's so busy trying to get his sea legs. Now he's like a lot of what he does. He's like very anti-woke because that draws in independence and people across the line.
He forced Newsom's hand on tax rebates for films out here, where Newsom is now, again, before Trump could do it, taking credit for giving massive rebates to tax incentives to Hollywood studios to shoot films here. This is where Trump was going with this thing to make Hollywood great again. Newsom is doing it and stealing it. But like you said, you don't seem to care who does it. But there is an effect that Trump has where he doesn't do the thing, but other people do it to head him off at the pass.
Right.
So in other words, it's just as good. Who gives a shit who does it? But Newsom's going to take credit for this when he runs for president in 2028. So there is a downside to allowing this to happen.
It's kind of like no tax on tips.
She did jump and steal that. She did steal that. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, Trump's spitting out so many ideas. He can't do them all anyway. So
no,
it's I know. If they get stolen, he's just getting more done. And
I know.
People know. They know.
Yeah, I know. The people know. The people know.
I mean, it's whatever
the people know.
Now, I don't know if you saw this. I found out about this story. There's a channel called Actual Justice Warrior. His name's Sean. I think it's Fitzgerald, but I don't know. Does pretty good stuff. And he covered the story. I thought it was interesting. I thought I'd share here. This woman, Nakia Hamilton, did something rare. She's a mom of three. She's a Burger King, employee.
Looks like
25-year-old mom of three in South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina. And she was alone. Like nobody showed up. And she was working 12 hours at Burger King, ran the entire restaurant. She was doing it totally by herself, cooking, station, drive-through, whatever. I think she had to close the door so you could do the drive-through control out. But I mean, people saw this and they're like, holy cow, this woman, she's doing all this work and everything. Did it and got on the local news. A lot of people are just so impressed with this. She's has a record. And that's, I actually find even more admirable. She said, somebody gave her a chance with the job. She had to do the job because she had a criminal record. And she was really just thankful for the opportunity and wanted to take care of her kids, everything, just kind of a local hero. So they fired her.
To add, this is very common out here now in LA because of the $20 minimum wage for fast food workers. The fast food franchises are now literally putting one or two workers inside of a Taco Bell, locking the door and saying, just stand there all day. I've heard this story before. This is South Carolina. The reason it's happening here is because they can't afford to pay more than one or two people for over $20 an hour, not counting benefits for these fast food places. So a lot of these people want to, shoot themselves in the head because they're literally locked into some busy fast food place, Eric, using the drive-in window for the most part. They'll lock the door and prevent walk-ins, because it's just too much.
You want to talk about Taco Bell? It's even worse than that. When I was heading back from one of our meetups, we got back and I was like, I just want to hit Taco Bell on the way home. It was late. And I drove by. So not only was the door locked, but the drive-through wouldn't serve us. They were only serving DoorDash.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've seen that too.
And I've
seen that too.
So I won't eat at Taco Bell anymore.
Well, your personal protest is going to go to the governor's office of.
I really don't care. I mean, if they do it with others, they do it with others. But
so her story, just that part of her story is not uncommon today, sadly enough.
Yeah, but they went ahead and fired her.
Yeah.
That wasn't intentional. It was a firing, and I guess they fired her because supposedly that she was late coming in on.
Yeah, you don't know. She might, on. Who knows?
That was their claim. She was saying, "Hey, I had the time off. I was 90 minutes away." They knew it, and they said, "What are you going to do?"
Well, there's also these fast food fights that we didn't mention, where they go over the counter and they start grabbing their chicken or burgers that they want, and you never see how those start. But there's quite a few of those videos out there.
Through the drive-through window too, yeah.
Through the drive-through window, one of the greatest series of videos, fighting them through the window because they can't come in through the door. I guess, Eric.
Right.
I think by midnight or some cutoff, they're locking that door, and you're stoned or high or drunk or on blow, and you're just going at it with whoever didn't give you your milkshake in time.
All right, everybody in the chat. It's not like I habitually go to Taco Bell. I happen to want to go because I didn't want anything else that day. I don't miss it at all. No, they're all like, you're better off. You're better off.
Don't let these people tell you what to eat, Hunley. Do what you want. Don't listen to them.
Oh my God.
If you want Taco Bell, Hunley, get it. Go in there.
Right.
Don't listen to these mutts.
I don't know. But you know what? I will listen to some of them, like Pamela Clifton here, because she gives us a super sticker and is very
thanks,
loyal. Man. Thank you, Pamela. And Helena gifted 10 America's Untold Stories memberships. Therefore, wonderful, Helena. Thank you. We have Dick Dickerson, who's been a member for 33 months. That's awesome. You're headed to 3 years soon. Because of dummies in chat, no member gifting. Ooh.
Oh, I like that. Dickerson throwing down the gauntlet.
Hey, fair.
I understand.
Wow. Okay.
And you know what? Price to pay for you psychos.
I understand it because you can't pick who's going to get a membership. It's so randomized. So he's like, oh no, it might go to somebody who's pissing me off right now. I don't like that.
I was wondering when that was going to happen.
All right. Well,
I thought someday somebody might crack under the pressure there.
I agree. Masmars 312 though is a member on his own. Thank you. Jay 1989 also got a membership.
What is that, Seinfeld, or who's that a picture of?
I don't know. I can't quite tell.
I want to show you this story as we go on. See that? This is a story in today's paper. Fatal laughing gas poisoning skyrocket as recreational use spreads, Eric. 8th graders are among the top users of this unregulated party drug, which we've been talking about on this channel for a while.
Wow.
Nitrous oxide, my friend.
Where was that when I was a kid? No, anyway,
it was in the dairy department. If you went and got the whipped cream like I did, and Rano did, Rano was another one who was into whippets. And don't try to deny it, Rano.
You know what? There is a video going around on what is it? Yeah, wherever, right? It's like a short video. It's this kid in the car, and he sat there and he inhaled something. It was some spray, something. And he was like, "Whoa!" And he just goes. And his eyes, and he just like went completely weird, and I guess he was dead.
Well, let me just tell you this story then. In the past decade has seen a 578% rise in deaths because of nitrous oxide poisoning, Eric. A new research study shows revealing a sharp rise in U.S. fatalities linked to the gas, often called laughing gas, over the past 13 years. The colorless, odorless gas is used recreationally as a euphoric and hallucinogenic drug. The same drug used as anesthesia in dentist office is now easily purchased by teenagers at corner stores and inhaled for a quick high, and it's proving increasingly deadly. Quote, on the streets, the slang term for nitrous oxide is whippet, says Brian Townsend, a retired supervisory special agent with U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency and not involved in the study. The gas comes from canisters typically released into balloons before the user inhales it. This gives them a brief euphoric feeling or high. Fatalities have climbed from 23 in 2010 to 156 in 2023, with researchers linking the increase to the spread of whippets use among young people in the United States. The only reason I'm reading this is because we have been discussing it for a number of years here, off and on, and I just thought this might solidify the storyline for people.
That's really sad. Well, hey, while we're talking about kids dying from things, here's another Kratom story.
Yeah, again, sadly ahead of the curve on this particular story too about Kratom and 7.0 and the super Kratom. But you don't understand, Mark. I use it all the time and I'm fine.
He's 16 years old, dude.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, completely. 16. I think only 6 or 7 states, including Alabama and some other states, have banned it. But it's available to everyone in like 42 states in the United States.
Wow. That is anyway.
Yeah, I have a friend who's an adult male wrestling with it now, in recovery, wrestling with the 7.0, trying to get clean.
Now, did he use something else and then it converted to that over time or something? Or is that
years and years ago he used heroin, but that was a long time ago. He was clean for a long time, and now he's into the 7-0, and he started with kratom, thought it was innocuous, and went from kratom to 7-0, and may have gone back to heroin. And it's like drinking non-alcoholic beer. 6 of them equals 1 beer, of O'Doul's specifically.
Yeah, I've always wondered about that because I know that it's a low alcohol, but it's
Yeah, they hired a lobbying firm to lobby Congress to get them to put non-alcoholic on the label. That took a lot of money by the liquor industry. Just to give you a brief history how it evolved, it was through a lobbying effort by the alcohol industry to get Congress to make it a non-alcoholic beer when it wasn't. To be blunt with you. And 6 of them equals 1, 5.5 or 6 equals about 1 beer.
Wow.
Yeah. But they were told to make it low alcohol beer, and they said that's hard to sell. We want to sell non-alcoholic beer, which they now have come up with some recipes for. But O'Doul's, I think, was attempted to avoid that low alcohol label.
I can see it. I mean, I guess the other approach, and I don't know what they're doing, is they can say low carb, low alcohol, and since that's trendy, they can sell that now. And
Yeah, no,
they
did that. Remember back in the old days, they did that with the Miller Lite, and they had a Michelob and some others that were low carb and low alcohol combined. That was another niche they came up with.
Yeah, amazing. And while you're talking about relapsing, it turns out, I know you kind of suspected it, but Jim
Irsay, yeah, he was quite a piece of work. His daughters now run the Colts, and they started a program. He was getting. I was talking to Dr. Drew about this morning privately, and Irsay just could not get clean and sober. It was just so many relapses, so much insanity. And he hooked up with some addiction doctor who Dr. Drew says was legit, some guy who used to run the Betty Ford program, and that doctor was giving him opiate pills. Now, Drew thinks it might have been Suboxone, but I have my doubts. He was also involved with ketamine, Irsay at the end, and his daughters refused to, despite 2022, the Colts creating a program to stop the smearing of people with addiction issues. The Colts started a program to not denigrate addiction related illnesses, and his 3 daughters, who now control the Colts, refused to have an autopsy, refused to have toxicology reports, and are telling the media to go away. They said it was a heart attack. It was not, as I said on this show, when it happened, knowing Irsay for many years. And his drug history, sadly, a foundation could be created in the opposite direction in his name, showing the incredible health hazards of drug addiction. But like many other celebrities, they try and do and succeed going in the opposite direction, denying that it took out their loved ones who were above reproach. This doctor is now going to have some splaining to do from Beverly Hills, who was giving him, prescribing him opiates and also ketamine, which is what he apparently died of, as I had thought.
Wow. I know that's something that we've talked about before that I think you find irritating because
it's irritating.
You want the truth to come out, so fewer people don't go, oh, no, he didn't have an issue. I don't have an issue. He didn't have an issue. It was just a heart attack, or it was just this or is that.
It's astounding, and it's at all levels. But I mean, when you see it at the celebrity level, at the fame level, I saw it with Tom Petty. You see it with all these different celebrities. Their family wants to keep the estate and the money flowing, and they do not want, in their opinion, bad press that their above reproach superstar died of common addiction like every other mortal person in the United States. And they keep this lie going instead of starting a foundation or treatment in his name, which would be the righteous thing to do. They tend to do the opposite, which is really infuriating.
And Are there some good examples going the other way that you can name off?
Yeah, I think there was Robert Shapiro, OJ's attorney, whose son died of addiction. He opened up some sober livings in LA and put money into recovery. I think off the top of my head, there's probably others, but I remember Shapiro opening up sober livings in his son's name. That went in that direction, completely embraced it. The lawyer for OJ, Robert Shapiro.
Actually, I just thought of another one that because I deal with a lot of lawyer type stuff. I'm aware of different channels, but to point it out, this guy I thought did a good thing. Bruce Rivers, he's a very, very popular YouTube lawyer, 1.4 million subscribers, big channel. His son died of an overdose late last year. And he went on and just did an entire episode just talking about his son, talking about the problems. And,
no, that's righteous. That's righteous.
Yeah. I just thought about it. I was like, you know what? I think that might have been a
usually the case
way to handle it.
In the celebrity department, they will go after the drug dealer if it's Robert De Niro's grandson, or in the case of Bellucci, or in the case of what's his name from Friends, who passed away last year from ketamine. Matthew Perry. When they start to go after the drug dealer, that makes the drug user the victim. And these cats are not victims. They have just run out of places to get drugs and alcohol, and they will go navigate and find croakers, drug dealers who are doctors licensed who deal with celebrities. And those people, in the case of Matthew Perry, have pled guilty, the doctors. So they're going to prison. But, which is not a bad thing. In fact, it may scare off some other doctors, which is what they're attempting to do in the doctor world.
Yeah. H. Sure is asking, we actually did an episode on rehabs. If you want to check it out, on the channel, there is an episode on rehab. So I just wanted to address this one.
Well, I have an entire book you could read also.
Well, that's in the description. It's in the description
to read my book, Rehab Nation: Inside the Secret World of Celebrity Rehab. So, I've covered this quite extensively as a reporter.
Right. And also we did an episode, but every video we have has that link in the description. You scroll down for his book. Mike Schaefer, for investors, AI may have challenges because of energy transmission. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that true, Eric?
Well, there are big problems with.
Do you need a lot of energy to do?
Yes.
Yes.
Weird.
Okay.
That's why. That's part of the push for even more nuclear power plants, things like that.
Oh, weird. You need nuclear power. Jesus Christ, this is crazy.
Well, for AI, yeah. It is.
Wow.
Well, because the AI is running on GPUs, and the amount of energy and strength they use is intense.
In the Oliver Stone documentary on nuclear power, near the end, in the final 20 minutes or so, he talks about with people about making these miniature nuclear power plants, and I mean miniature, which is the most fascinating part of the doc. At the very end, if people are interested in this, they may want to look at Oliver Stone's last documentary, which is about nuclear power.
Right.
Talking about a housing development having its own nuclear generator. You know what I mean? Just for a housing development, brand new. These people were building a housing development and installing or attempting to raise money to install a small nuclear power plant for the housing unit.
Right. And those power plants, it's like a little reactor or something.
It's a little reactor. Yeah.
I think I actually did an interview with Philip Grossman, who's gone back and forth to Chernobyl more times than just about anyone, filmed all over the place. And I believe those plants, it's like the size of like this big, powers for about 15 years.
Yeah. And they have to replace it.
Incredible. But he also was talking about how these newer plants, if they fail, they implode, and they actually seal themselves to where they're not harmful. And one last piece of trivia on the Grossman interview, this was shocking to me. He has, because he goes to Chernobyl, he has to wear meters, how much exposure do you have? Kind of obvious. He lives in Atlanta though, and there's a company there that makes these exposure meters. So they lent it to him, whatever, to test it out as a sponsor, what have you. So he wore it from home all the way to Chernobyl and back. And it turns out that the highest level of radiation that he experienced from the entire trip, from his house, around town, everything, and travel to Chernobyl, is guess where? Guess where he had the most exposure of radiation?
I don't know.
On the plane.
Oh, okay. All right. That's weird.
Yeah. There was more. He was exposed to more radiation on a plane going to Ukraine than he did at Chernobyl itself, which is insane to consider. Dick Dickerson, to everyone crying about it, Mark's video feed, just freaking listen. It's most likely the internet's fault. Chill out with the complaining. That was people talking about it. Fuzzy. Yeah, whatever. And it did clear up, by the way. Oh, $20 from Jay, 1989. So not only a new member, but $20. Thank you very much. Do appreciate that. Hugh, is that Chasel or Chasol? I wonder if he listened to Lou Reed.
The music or the man? I mean, I knew
you knew him.
My cousin ran Sister Ray. It was just her and Lou Reed. And Lou Reed was at my uncle's funeral from the, if you want to see the story, I think it's in the coffee shop episode of my relationship to Lou Reed, who was sober a long time, Lou Reed.
Yeah, well, but the effects of while he was using did have, he got a liver transplant.
Like Joey, I think he had electroshock therapy at Creedmoor, the mental institution on Long Island. And Joey, when I say Joey, I mean Joey Ramone, told me that he also had electroshock therapy. I think Lou Reed had it. And Lou Reed would go into these catatonic phases where he would just stare out the window, my cousin told me, when she was running his company, just stare out for hours and get catatonic, Eric, just looking at the West Side Highway.
He's written about that and talked about the a lot of electroshock stuff going on with him.
I think so. I think he did. I mean, I know Joey Ramone told me about his. They both went to Creedmoor. They're both from Queens. It was really weird. I mean, it was popular back then as a treatment. I don't think it's that popular now.
Well, it's like, have you seen? Remember it's before both of our times, really. But I mean, for a while, lobotomies were all the rage.
Yeah, of course.
All the way to a Kennedy.
Frances Farmer, the beautiful actress. If you want to see a great movie, see Frances starring Jessica Lange. Fantastic movie. The biopic of the actress Frances Farmer, who has a lobotomy done to her at Camarillo, I think, state mental institution here in California, which also did not have a lobotomy, just had heroin addiction.
That creeps me out. Okay, Anthony, Toramina, 99.99. Thank you so much. That is very, very generous. Got to pay the VIG every 6 months. Love the content, Mark and Eric. Eric, you play a great straight man for Mark. Cracks me up. Well, thank you. And that is really generous. We do appreciate that very much.
Tony, I think Tony's from Brooklyn. I think anytime you start using the word VIG, this is a mob term. It's very few people understand the term that Tony's using here. But Tony's apparently paid back the VIG and has some free cash.
Well, thank you, Tony, very, very much. Or Anthony. I never assume on that. Some people.
I'm going to assume. I'm going to take the assumption that somebody calls him Tony.
All right. Fletcher boy, late to the party. Have we discussed the transmissions with Pew Pew's problem? I don't know.
I don't know.
Did you have an issue? I don't know that.
I don't know.
Pew Pew's a regular and really, really supportive all the time. And I see Pew Pew on the grill stream too on Saturdays and on Locals. Boo Bing Bang. All the way from Australia. Hello to tomorrow. Love the show, lads. Meanwhile, here in the Gulag, our commie government is busy recognizing Palestine.
Yeah. I saw that. Yeah, there's going to be a price to pay because Trump will now put a massive tariff, I predict, upon Australia to financially break that. And he got it eliminated by the Brits, the French, and the Canadians by privately threatening to tariff them. And Australia will buckle, I predict. The ladies of Australia will buckle when Trump or Rubio calls them about the tariffs.
Doesn't it crack you up though when you're like, okay, every other, the mothership and the other Commonwealth nations just flipped on it. So now you're doing it's like Cracker Barrel. Australia is like Cracker Barrel. It's like it's late.
What do they get the memo late or something? Did she read her
know.
emails every 3 weeks? She reads her emails down there.
You know what? Maybe they're just so slow to get anything done that they've been working on, and they finally got it finished after everybody else had already done and gone back.
Right. I mean, this story was done in over 3 weeks ago, and all of a sudden Australia wakes up one day and says, "We're going to bloody recognize the state of Palestine." And I'm going like, "What are you, crazy lady?" Those people got to get some weapons down there so they can put the fear of God back into their own government.
Right.
Yeah, that's really their problem. They have no Second Amendment. They don't even have a First Amendment. They don't have any amendment.
They eliminated their guns in '95 after.
Right, but I'm saying it's not that long ago historically.
No, 30 years. I mean,
it could be restored again if somebody gets the gumption to say, you know what, these guys have been torturing us through COVID and to today.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, my friend Tyson, who's down there, he mentioned something. He said he never understood that governors in Australia actually had power. He said, he just figured it was a figurehead position.
Yeah.
But COVID taught him.
Oh
yeah, they do, because he lived in like one area, but his family's in another area, so he cannot cross the line to go see his family, and it's just like.
I mean, they limited it to 1 6-pack of beer a day. They started getting into because people were saying, "I'm going to the store to get beer," and they said, "Nah, it's too many trips. We're done." And they limited it to a 6-pack a day. And I think people just said, "Wow, this is really a bridge too far." Not that they did anything about it, but you got to vote these commies out of office. What the fuck is wrong with those people down there?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Hopefully they get it straight, because Australia, I always kind of considered a sibling to us, really a cool country. Mike Schaefer. I know this isn't topical, I guess. Trump is making a mistake for U.S. owning part of Intel. Let companies live or die. Don't pick winners and losers.
Oh, Eric,
last Friday, I was very heated with Mark explaining that.
I don't know. I don't have an opinion. You were heated with yourself. You didn't say one way or the other.
Well, what I'm saying is, we did talk about Mike, and I know you were there. I know you were there, Mike.
Paper was there. I don't know what he's talking about. He heard the whole conversation. He just wants us to talk about it again for $5.
No, we got it covered. But thank you for the $5. But we agree. Here we go. K-Dog with $20. Thank you. Another great show. Do you believe Joseph Miltier was involved or aware? We have an episode on Joseph
you can look at the episode. I'm not going to give you the ending to the freaking episode for $20, bro. Watch the episode on Miltier. It's very complicated.
Not only him, it's him and Gilberto Paula, whatever, I can't say his name.
That's another guy, and then there's the guy who tape recorded Miltier.
Yeah, so it's an action-packed episode. Multiple people. You may want to check that out.
But the photo, I believe, is Miltier, in Dealey Plaza. I've always believed that was him.
All right. Scott Biddle. Some prisoners do have access to the internet.
Yeah, I'm sure it's doled out. And, when you have minimum security prisons, I'm sure you do.
Well, she is in a minimum security, which I'm wondering about. Of course, you're an 11-year sentence. Okay.
I mean, she's in a chick prison at a minimum level. It's a white-collar crime. She may have access to the internet.
Wow. Wow, this is interesting. Al Gonzalez. In 1990, I arrested James Revson, heir to the Revlon fortune, at a big New York City AIDS protest. He told me the protests were being funded by dark money. Even back then, he died shortly after of AIDS.
Well, we're going to cover that probably very extensively on Wednesday when I am doing a deep dive on Sam Kinison, who was confronted by the AIDS lobby and boycotted, not unlike Dice, but they went after Kinison as well. And they were pulled out of the SNL show live wearing, like I said in the Dice episode, ACT UP was pulled out of the live show when Dice was on SNL, and Kinison experienced the same thing. He didn't suffer the repercussions because he wasn't a movie star like Dice could have been, but Sam was up against the same situation with the AIDS activist, Al.
Okay. Fletcher Boy saying, Hunley, the Catholic Church incident in Minneapolis. YouTube would not let certain words in super chats. Well, that's no surprise.
Yeah.
So, I guess he said something earlier. I was probably confused. I don't know the context, but yeah, I know that YouTube will do that. Here it does it in comments. And by the way, a lot of you it will say my comment was pulled. Well, it depends what you. Sometimes YouTube just pulls comments. There is a area. Sometimes I'll see that there's comments that are filtered, and I don't know. YouTube is really bonkers on a lot of this stuff. Welcome to hell. I don't know what else to say, but one place that is open, and it does allow us to say what we want when we want, is Locals. And
well, we could talk about the ban on cell phones in schools, which is expanding across the country.
All right. Well, I think we might do that. We are going to head over to Locals. I hope you consider checking it out there. It's free to be a member, and you can also support us. Mark is reviewing the LBJ audio drama, which hopefully will be published very, very soon there for people. So stay tuned.
We should give a shout out to the Dallas Ticket Festival, because I'm going to bring a couple of hard copy versions of the LBJ script to give to certain people who purchase the membership with Locals. If you purchase a membership and can bring down some proof of it to Dallas, I will give you a actual hard copy of the script in Dallas.
Actually, do we have a window? Because I can just track whoever starts a membership on X date, and
we haven't released it yet, so whatever.
Okay,
we'll do that later. I'm just saying.
All right. Yeah,
I will autograph. I will give you a signed copy of the actual script in Dallas when and if we get to the point of when it goes on sale.
All right. Well, perfect.
But here is how you get to Dallas, though.
Here you get to Dallas, but also more importantly, you're going to notice something about this, Mark.
What?
There's more names.
I know there would be more names, because the chick was telling me, oh, hickory dickory dock, look at all these names.
A lot more names. Yeah, you know, the Killing JFK podcast and 2 others are all coming.
Oh,
so there's going to be like a nice podcast run with us on YouTube, and then other podcasters. Matt Crumpton is who I believe does the Solving JFK podcast. And there's a couple other podcasts that are going down there. So there's going to be a lot more of the online creators going. If you want to
meet Robert Tannenbaum, because he lives in Beverly Hills. I should probably go with the guy who used to be he was the mayor of Beverly Hills, Tannenbaum, which I kind of appreciate.
Yeah, definitely. But you can see there are a lot of people here. Again, you can scan the QR code on the bottom right. Again, use Untold 10. I added the quotation marks just for Mark.
I think it's easier because we have so many people on the spectrum here that they might use Untold 10.
Okay, fair enough. So but use Untold 10. Don't use quote unquote Untold 10.
I don't know why that.
Well, now we have to go the other way with that.
You don't even need the word use. Just put Untold 10 in quotes.
Well, why do I have the word Untold 10 there? Well, it's just random. I need to say to use it. So anyway, use that for a 10% discount. And it also gives us credit for doing that. Lets them know, hey, how many people are coming from AUS. It's really important. We're tracking that kind of thing.
By the way, that blood that's dripping out of Kennedy's hole in his head, that's from my red magic marker years ago. I just remembered I did that by hand with a red magic marker.
Did you do the circle too? Just drawing it. It looks like it now that you say that.
Yeah, I don't remember that, but I do remember that red magic marker, and I made it drip down. It worked out pretty nicely.
Wow, we've gotten a lot of heat for that particular thing.
Who gives a shit about that?
No, I know, but people are like, oh, that is the most tasteless thing I've ever seen. I can't believe that you're doing that. And,
give me a break. After everything we've gone through.
Well, you know that. You've read the comments. Come on. But I hope you guys do consider checking it out down there. Hope you follow us over to Locals now. And by the way, if you are looking for data protection, Aura is a good product. You know, I'm really happy to have them as a sponsor, but I'm happy to have a sponsor that I use and that I like. And I do hope that you guys consider doing that. And we are going to head over to locals with a message from Jerry Seinfeld on the way out.
Jerry.
He has an idea for you that you may want to consider. And we'll see you in the next episode.
So I'm sitting there enjoying the stream and I realize how much people are not subscribed yet watching. Like, what's the deal? You don't got to get in your car or anything. You're trying to win a medal? Laziest person on earth? Can't subscribe? I have to move my wrist and hit the click button. Frankly, it's beyond me. It's beyond me.